Hey guys, Billy Epperhart here. Thanks for tuning in to another vlog. And listen, I want to remind you of something on a project we're doing. Today I'm going to talk about how to start a nonprofit, but I'll do that in just a second. I have that question asked me in many of the conferences and workshops we do. But one of the things I want to mention is we have a project going for Farm Uganda, which is obviously in Uganda, Africa. And in Farm Uganda, we are raising money on a GoFundMe project, and so you can look at the link that's actually on the video here that you're watching to be able to see that. But we're actually we have lent approximately $70,000 US to the farm project called Farm Uganda, and right now we're actually raising capital to donate or give, not lend, but donate and give $7,500 for some new farm equipment that they need for Farm Uganda. So if that's something you'd be interested in or helping us, I think right now our goal is $7,500, and so we're well on our way to reaching our goal, but we definitely need some additional donations to help us hit the $7,500 mark, so we appreciate that. And the question is, how do I start a charity or a nonprofit? And so typically, you really need a mission and a purpose. So it's not just starting a nonprofit for the sake of starting something. It's actually, if you really feel like you're called to make a social impact or a spiritual impact, or you're called to help people in some dimension where, you're not earning profit for yourself or trying to make money, but you're trying to help people or bless people, then one of the first things you need to do is kind of come together and decide who your board of directors and kind of your board would be for your nonprofit. Typically, you have to have a minimum of 3 people to actually make a board for a nonprofit. In some cases, you will need as many as 5, depending on what it is. Now, there's different kinds of nonprofits, but to kind of try to give you kind of the larger scope of it is that once you put together a board of directors, which is usually 3 to 5, and it can be more than 5, by the way, but just as a minimum 3 to 5, and then you would actually develop what we would call, well, the next you would file for an EIN, so that's an employment identification number. So you form a board, you file for an EIN. You have to file kind of small articles of incorporation at the state level. Remember, all corporations are filed at the state level, and that includes nonprofits. And then you come up with what we would call your bylaws or your operating agreement, or in this case, your articles and bylaws that you would have. And I encourage you to find an attorney who has some experience in nonprofits. You're welcome to contact our office, and we can give you several names of people that actually do this full-time for a living, meaning attorneys that do it full-time for a living. That's not a plug. It's just letting you know you do need to use an attorney. And so you file, and then one of the keys is once you get your articles and bylaws together, then you file for status with the IRS. And the IRS will determine what kind of nonprofit you are. Many of you watching the vlog today probably would want to start either a religious nonprofit or even for this matter, a church or even a synagogue or something else. Then what you would have to do is file for what's called 501c3 status. And there's 2 primary kinds of 501c3 status. One is what we would call a 990 required 501c3 status. That means you have to file like a tax return with the IRS for your nonprofit. And then the other one is what we would call a non-990 required, and that non-990 means you do not have to file any kind of ongoing reporting with the IRS in regards if it's a non-990 status. And typically that only qualifies for a church or an association or convention of churches to get a non-990. So most all nonprofits, the majority of them besides churches or the association or convention of churches would file 990s. So these are just a couple of the items. And then once you get a letter back called a letter of determination from the IRS, then you would use that letter of determination from the IRS to then file with your state, with local and state sales tax as an example, and other things. In some limited cases, where a church is on a property, then you wouldn't have to pay property tax as well in that kind of situation. So that's kind of kind of a 30,000 foot view of what you do to start a nonprofit. Just make sure you know what your vision and your mission, what your purpose really is, and that it's for the benefit of helping other people. And if you do that, we encourage you, because the more we do to have an impact in the world, to make the world a better place, of course, the better off we all are. So this is Billy Epperhart. Listen, if you like the video, make sure you like it or share it to help us. And we'll look forward to seeing you right back here on another vlog. Bye-bye.